Good evening to all of you. So today's session is very special, and this session is related to PI or personal interview. So basically, we'll be talking about for IIM personal interview. There are certain myths and do's and don'ts. So we'll be discussing all those things over here. All right. Okay. So before I start, I would urge all of you to like, share, and subscribe our channel. And you can click on bell icon also so that you can get notification of my further sessions. Right? Acha. This is an important session which is conducted by Unacademy. This is a free session for CAT 2021 students. So there are workshops. This is our 13th to 16th August and 17th August. There is an assessment test. So if you are actually appearing for CAT 2021, you can attend this workshop. You just download the Unacademy app, and accordingly you can attend these free workshops. All right. So we'll start with our session. So the flow of the session will be like this. First, we'll be talking about myths. Second, we'll be talking about some do's and some don'ts. See, there are many do's and don'ts actually. So and then there'll be some sample questions from some academic background. Fine. And tomorrow also at 9:30 p.m. I'll be having similar session. Fine. Similar session means not exactly this. So we'll be talking about sessions on how to build your profile, and then so that you can do well in your personal interview. Right. So this is another thing we'll be discussing over there. And of course, what you can do is you can write your questions in the chat box. Fine. And accordingly, I'll be answering. Fine. All right. So let's start with the myths. Okay. So the first important thing is personal interview is a rejection process. So generally, this kind of view is there that personal interview means they will be actually rejecting. So this is a myth. Myth. The reality is actually different. So the reality is it is actually a selection process, right? Now, why and how? Let me explain that. Fine. See, how many students write CAT? It will be around 2 lakh students, right? And then out of 2 lakh students, so the top 5% or top 1% or top 2% or top 3% people actually get call in different IIMs. Fine. So can you imagine if I'm talking about top 2%, that means 4,000 students, right? So that means the rest of the students out of this 2 lakh students are already being rejected. Fine. So the rejection process is actually done in the written test itself. Right. Now, whoever has got call, they are the top lot, or I can say their aptitude is definitely good, and that is why, or the better or the best of the best lots are there in the interview. Right. So here the interview panelist or the interview process is actually not to reject. Now they know it very well that these students are there already. They have crossed a particular uh, benchmark, right? And now they are hero, right? So they are supposed to be selected. Okay. Now, already the best performers in the CAT are being interviewed, and definitely those people will be selected. Okay. So please remember that this is not a rejection process. This is absolutely a selection process. Next, in personal interview, any question can be asked. Yes, to some extent it is true, but let me explain a little bit. It is actually not true. In the very first sense, it is not true, right? And when it is true and how it is true, I'll just explain that. So first thing you need to understand is it is not that they'll be asking from any place. Why? Let me clarify the whole thing. So you have already written the cat, and then you have got a very good percentile, right? So that means you have actually received or secured the desired percentile, and they know that you have a desired aptitude level, and that is why you have got interview call. All right. Now, if you have got interview call over here, the next point which comes in mind is then what to check, right? So they know that your aptitude is very good, and that is why you have got a very good percentile, and that is why you are in front of them. Fine. So what do they check? They actually check you as a person. Your personality is being checked. Now, personality is being checked means what? What do you mean by personality? Personality means yourself. They actually want to know about yourself, right? And who knows the best about yourself? Who is the person? You are the person who know the best about yourself, right? So actually they want to know that what kind of person you are, what are your qualities, what are your traits. Fine. So what exactly happens over here? They are actually interested about you and you as a person or your personality, right? That means they want to check that whether you have some qualities of a manager or not, or where you are supposed to be you are would be manager. So do you have all those qualities, right? Can you think logically? Are you composed enough? Are you calm enough in a very critical situation, right? All those qualities are actually being checked. And now the point is they check in a different way. They ask different questions, and with respect to your expression, with respect to your answers, with respect to your uh, quality of answers and the words you are using, with respect to that, they actually judge that whether you are the perfect person or not with respect to as a candidature of getting admission into IIMs, right? But please remember, it is all about questions about yourself. So about yourself means you should know about yourself well. You know it well, but still you should know more and more, right? So introspect is very important, and then only you can make things happen. All right. Now next one is in personal interview a candidate needs to answer all questions, right? So if you look at it needs to answer all questions, it is almost impossible to answer all questions, right? Anyone anyone, if they are asking some questions to you or anyone, to me also, to anyone, we are all human beings, so we may not be knowing everything, right? So it is almost impossible to know the answers of all the questions asked. Fine. So what I wanted to mean is that means it is okay that if you are not able to answer some questions. Fine. So what exactly it happens, I'll just tell you what and how it happens. When you ask a question, when they ask a question, you have answered the question. So they'll be asking a little bit deeper question or questions from a deeper concept. You answered the question, right? Then once again they'll be asking questions on much more deeper concept, or an application based question. So you answered the question. So that means they are knowing that yes, what is your depth in the knowledge, right? So they are actually checking the depth of the knowledge. Now, if they keep on asking question, at some moment or some point, you may not be able to answer all the questions over there, right? Because they keep on asking deeper and deeper, or they keep on asking on application based. Remember, those people are generally professors and they have done PhD. And then if they have done PhD, so they have absolute in-depth knowledge of their own subjects, right? As well as applications. So in that case, at some moment, you may not be able to answer. So don't worry in the whole process, right? So the depth is checked, right? Of course, there's a caution over there, but you need to answer some questions, of course. You cannot say that, okay, the first question is asked, so I don't know the answer. Second question is asked, I don't know the answer. Some third question, I don't know the answer. Then there is a problem, right? Then there is a problem in the sense, if I just go back, so in the previous slide, I showed you that personal interview, they can ask any question can be asked, right? So that means if they are asking some question or you are not able to answer, whatever you have written in your form, you are not able to answer or justify your answers, right? So then what will happen? They know that, okay, so I don't know exactly what is happening. So let me ask questions from here, let me ask question from here, let me ask question from there, and let me check whether the candidate is knowing something from this topic or this topic or that topic. So that means then there is a point of they are asking questions from different topics or from any place, right? So that means you need to assure yourself and them that okay, whatever questions are asked, I know some answers, right? And I know some deeper part, right? But it cannot be happening that you are not knowing anything. So in that case, so there will be a danger. Okay. So that means, of course, you need to answer some questions. Definitely on that. Okay. I hope this part is clear. All right. Now, this is much more interesting. So, people at times say that they have grilled in the interview, all the panelists have grilled a lot. So, it was a very tough interview. So, and so and so, and it was 30 minutes interview, 35 minutes interview, right? And so on, right? So, the personal interview, the panelists asked loads of questions, and it was a tough interview. Fine. So, may not be it was a tough interview, it is something else, right? Remember, in the first point, I told you that they want to know about you, your personality. That means about yourself, right? And if they keep on asking questions and questions, more and more questions, so probably Probably it indicates that the panelists were interested to know more about you. That means probably the panelists have got some interest in your personality and they want to know about yourself so that there is a chance of getting selected, right? So just try to understand the whole thing. If a person is asking, so you have met with someone, right? And then you have given introduction and then the person is told, okay, thank you, right? So it is very clear that the person informed is not interested, and he or she is not interested to interact with you. Now, if you say that the person in front, they are asking some more questions, they are speaking with you, so that means what? They are interested to interact with you. So it is the same thing. So if they are asking a lot of questions, it's not bad. So it's most probably that there is a high chance that you'll be getting selected. So in that case, you need not to worry. There is a good chance that you may be selected in the whole process. So you can relax. So not necessarily that it will be always that they have asked a lot of questions means that you will be getting selected. So there are two extreme cases. One is you are doing well, so they are asking a lot of questions. At times it happens that you messed up something. You have told something, and you have told something which you could not justify, right? So in that case, what happens? So they are asking another question, then they are asking another question. So they are asking a lot of questions, but nowhere you are able to justify. So in that case, there will be a difficult situation. All right. So you just need to have look at the chat. Okay, I'm just looking at chat a little bit. Hello, just hold on. I'll just check the. Okay, Arpita, take the. I'll just take the question answer at the end, right? All right, Arpita, I'll take the question at the end. All right. So I hope this part is all right. Acha, let me take this question because it is somehow related to whatever I have told just now. The question was, are the panelists IIM alumni or from different tech institutions? So generally, IIM interview panelists are IIM professors generally, and most of the cases it's not the other people, right? So generally they are professors, and then all top B schools, the professors are actually there in the panel. Okay, so you can very well understand that all people in front, whoever is actually interviewing, these people are all PhD holders, and they have a lot of knowledge with respect to their own subject as well as their applications. All right. All right. Now let's talk about do's, and first we'll talk about do's. Now there are a lot of do's over here, so I'll just put some, and of course what I felt that these are very important. First is the first impression is most important. So what happens in the whole process is, so last year it was with respect to, last year it was online because of pandemic, but generally it is a physical interview. Fine. So what I put over here is first impression is most important, and have a general professional attire. This attire is very important. Why I have told you this? So have a look on this. Attire means I'm talking about the whole look. Fine. So what happens is here there will be panelists. So generally they are professors, as I told you just now. So uh, when you enter the hall, right, or interview room, fine. So your first look will be the first impression. Now, if your first look is somehow is not acceptable by one of the panelists or both the panelists, then it will be a very difficult to survive in the interview. Fine. Say what I wanted to point out is you go for a professional attire. Professional attire means I'm talking about the whole look, right? So whole look means I'm just say for example for a male. So general professional attire. For a male, it can be it can be suit, right? It can be a tie, depending on when is the interview, right? So if the interview is in somewhere in May, and then if you're wearing a tie, so there can be a question once again, right? So you need to be careful in the whole process. So these are all nitty gritties in the whole thing. That means, but I what I wanted to point out is there will be a general professional one. So what I wanted to mean is, so please don't take it in other sense. So if I go for with kurta, kurta pajama. Okay, good dress. So, but they may ask a lot of questions on this. Why have you worn this? Right? Why this like this? Why the shape is like this? So, and then from which shop you have bought this, right? And then is there any other specialty of this? So they can ask a lot of questions. So these are all unnecessary questions which may not be connected with your selection process, right? Now, attire means I'm not talking about a dress. Can be say for example, say for a male candidate, fine. So generally acceptable format is you have a proper haircut. So it is okay that you have a long hair, right? But may not be okay in the when you are appearing in the interview. Fine. So if by chance the panelists feel that okay, no, I don't like this. Why the male is having this kind of long hair? So then there it's a very difficult to survive over there. They'll be asking questions where which may not be comfortable for you, right? And then maybe the selection process gets delayed and so and so. All right. So that will be the first thing. So general professional attire is very important. So we can go for more detailing into this, right? So, and then if you don't know any answer, fine. So you say that I'm not aware, right? So if you don't know any answer, but please don't do this thing that try to find out some answer, and then if you don't know, then if you say some answer, then they'll say "Gaja, what is this?" The impression will be what this candidate is not knowing the answer, and maybe he's knowing wrong thing, wrong concept. So all those will be very difficult. All right. Okay. So you can very well say I'm not aware. As I told you little while ago, you may not be knowing all the answers, right? So if you don't know any answer, it's absolutely okay, fine. Or at times, if you don't know any normal or simple answer, which you think that you should have known, then also you can very well say, "I'm not aware." You may not be knowing everything. Okay. Gotcha. Next is if you are guessing an answer. Say you don't know the answer. So you are guessing an answer. So before you tell the answer, you say that you are guessing an answer, or if they are permitting to guess. So that means tell them that if they permit, then you can guess the answer. So if you don't know the answer, you can very well, and you know some part, or then you can very well say yes, if you permit, then I can guess the answer. I may not be knowing the whole thing, but I can try my answer. If they are permitting, then you do. Generally, they permit, and then otherwise, over. Okay. Then next is use words or statements with extra caution. Why I am telling this? I'll just brief on this because next question may be related to words or statements used. So what I wanted to mean is if they have asked something related to your subject or something related to uh, your uh, your hobby and all those things, and if you use some words, right, or words can be a little bit harsh, word can be a little bit different, right, and in that case you may be asked questions on those things itself. So what I wanted to mean is I'm just telling you one interview experience. I am Ahmedabad interview, and this guy was passed out from IIT Guwahati physics, right? So they asked physics related questions, and then physics related questions. So in physics they talked about, so there are three dimensions, then it was a fourth dimension, right? Fourth dimension is time. Now the question is, what is why fourth dimension is to be taken? Without fourth dimension everything is all right. So the moment you say there is a fourth dimension, right, so that means what is important is you should justify, yes, fourth dimension is actually required, and that is why. So if you cannot justify that, then it will be very difficult. So you have used the word fourth dimension. So that's okay. That's a knowledge. But you are not able to justify when they are asking the practicality of this dimension. Then it is very difficult. So you need to be very cautious with respect to these words. I said. For don'ts, so this I have actually already told you that don't beat around the bush. If you are not aware of answer, you say that you are not aware of the answer. Fine. Or otherwise you say that if you permit, I can try. But just close the thing over there. So if you linger, then they'll also get bored. They also know that you are not knowing, you are just moving around. So they'll be getting irritated at times. So it's not good as far as the interview process is concerned. All right. The second part is, do not use definite words about someone or something. So this is very, very crucial, right? So see, they'll be asking a lot of questions. If it is not a technical question, they'll be asking a lot of questions with respect to what do you feel, what is your opinion, etc., etc. I'll just tell you a critical topic. So if it is told that was demonetization uh, a correct decision, right? So there are lots of points in favor. There are lots of points against. So this is a very dangerous situation for you. So in that case, what I wanted to mean by this point is, in that case, you don't say that no, this is not a very correct decision, right? Or this is a wrong decision, right? So don't say all those things. So if you say all those things, then it will be quite dangerous. First thing is, if the person in front understands the reverse, or the person in front, he or she feels that no, it was a correct decision, then it will be a dangerous. So in that case, how do we handle? We handle this way, that as far as my knowledge is concerned, or what I feel, this kind of prefix you need to put. As far as my knowledge, or if you put as far as my knowledge, so it's okay. As far as your knowledge, it is this, or I feel that this is this. So in that case, it is your feeling, right? It is not the definite one. So that's what I just wanted to point out. So don't use the definite words over here. Okay? Definite word at times is dangerous. And I feel the most important thing is this. So don't tell a lie, don't tell a lie, and don't tell a lie. Right? So they want to know about yourself. So you say about yourself whoever you are. Don't pretend that you are like that, you are like this, and so and so. All right, I'll get into that. Arpita, I'll get into that. So first thing is, do not tell a lie. That's the final thing. The moment they understand that you are pretending something and you are telling lie, so your interview is over. Interview is over means they will not select you. Fine. It's as simple as that. All right. Now there's a question came. It talks about uh, is it not advisable to give straightforward answer or go with diplomatic answer? Fine. See, the questions are very important. So for that, actually, you need to prepare your PI, because you are supposed to speak those things which you actually know, and you have to just direct the discussion towards your knowledge area. Fine. Now you can very well say this, that is it not that the panelists will not be knowing, understanding this, that you just wanted to move the discussion to your favorite, your comfortable area. Yes, they'll understand, and they want that. They want to know about yourself. Okay. Now the point comes in is that is it a straightforward answer or a diplomatic answer? Now please come over here. Yeah, that is the same question. How to answer controversial questions based on personal opinion. Okay, so that's what the point is. The moment you get a controversial question, so you know that they are wanting to put you in a trap. All right, whatever be the question. I just give an example. Demonetization, is it good or bad? So there are lots of arguments in favor or against, right? So in that case, if they are asking this, so it's quite dangerous how to answer. So that's what I wanted to point out, that when this kind of, and see, just try to understand the logic over there. So if there are two panelists over there, one panelist feels that demonetization was a perfect decision, another panelist feels that it is not. So in that case, what will happen? Whatever answer you give, you are in a danger position. Someone, if either this panelist or that panelist, some panelist will harp on you. So in that case, what I wanted to mean is, don't say that no, no, it's a very wrong decision or it's a very right decision. You say that I feel that this is this. So it's about you. So it's no nothing wrong to say that what you feel, because they actually want to know what you feel. Okay, so that's what the point is. Okay, I hope the answer is given. So generally, if a controversial question is given to you, so you understand that they are actually putting you in a trap, or they actually wanted to check that how composed you are. It's a very tough question. Now, when a tough question is asked, are you composed enough to tackle the situation? Are you composed enough to answer the question with a very calm manner? So those are the things they are actually checking. Okay, all right. Okay, so far, if you have liked the session, so you can like and share the session, and of course you can subscribe, and don't forget to press on bell icon so that you can get further notifications about my sessions. All right. So yes, Pranav, we'll discuss more. Right. So there are question based. So just today's session, whatever the agenda is there, it will be a little bit different. So I'll keep this agenda tomorrow. Tomorrow 9:30. Please join once again. So I'll keep this agenda in place, and accordingly we'll be discussing the types of traps. Right. Okay. Fine. So there's some more information. If you are actually preparing for CAT 2021, so in that case, in Unacademy, there are courses which are launched recently. So you can join all these courses. Fine. And there is some offer is happening over there that if you go for a 12-month subscription, then 3 months free. And similarly, 24-month subscription is 3 months free. And there is a scholarship test happens on every Sunday, so you can actually write the scholarship test and you can get some scholarships and discounts and all those. All right. All right. Now let's talk about some sample questions related information. Now, if you look this sample questions, I just divided the sample questions in two parts. One is it can be skill and subject related. So if you are a fresher, then they'll be more interested for subject your subject knowledge you have. If you are a working professional, so they will try to understand that what actually you do and what kind of skills you have. So they will ask what you do, and then with the help of that, they'll try to understand that what kind of skills you have, what kind of skill set you have. So this is one. Another is behavioral related question. Now at times behavioral related questions are a little bit difficult, and at times it happens that they make you so much of free, and then it becomes a very difficult situation. Fine. So anyway, so we'll just carry on with the things. So if you are a fresher, have a look on this skill and subject related thing. If you are a fresher, the first thing is study thoroughly your favorite subject. So why I'm telling favorite subject, why not all the subjects, right? So see, the panelist is also knowing that you may not be liking all the subjects in your graduation. Fine. So it is very common. It's a very normal scenario that all the subjects you may not be liking. You will be liking some subjects, and then they are definitely have got maximum marks. So generally, always, whenever they want to know about your subject knowledge, they first ask what is your favorite subject, and accordingly they'll ask questions on the favorite subject, and they will be always asking simple questions as well as application based questions. Right. There are some samples I have already put in the slides. Right. So simple questions will be there, not a very difficult question, but applications are very important. So you should prepare for the application of the theory whatever you have learned. Okay. Now, what happens is when you are a fresher, so you have nothing to say except the favorite subject. So, what else you can prepare for, or what else you can do is you may have done some projects during your graduation. So, projects you need to be thorough enough, and then you can tell them that yes, we have done. I have done this kind of project. You may have done some research work, right? Maybe a small research work, but you may have done that, or maybe some seminar you have taken or you have attended. So all those seminar related things also you can very well put. So as a fresher, you can do this kind of thing. And then you have some extracurricular activities, the things you have done in the, so extracurricular activities or extracurricular things, whatever you have done, you can very well put over there. Okay. Now the point comes in if you are a work experience. So if you are work experience, so their expectations are also higher with respect to a fresher candidate, right? So get ready for questions about your jobs, and basically jobs means they'll be talking about skill. So what kind of job you do, whom you report, how do you do, etc., etc. So you will be doing well, and you will be able to answer all those well, because since you are working over there, so you'll be able to answer well, right? So that will be an advantage for you. Fine. Now, of course, they can ask your favorite subject also. So in that case, favorite subject can be, of course, a subject in your graduation, right? So and may not be asking favorite subject. If you are answering well in your job related part, they may not be answering. Okay. So in that case, what will happen? That favorite subject may be not applicable. But I'll just tell you one interesting thing over here. Now I told you favorite subject. Now favorite subject is not necessarily a subject or whatever you have studied in your graduation. It can be something else also. So favorite subject can be something like, say for example, uh, knowing knowing about vintage cars, right? So you know a lot of vintage cars, and you are actually interested to know a lot of vintage cars. So your favorite subject is vintage cars, right? So that means the moment you say this, it will be an unique subject, right? So then what will happen is they will be asking a lot of question on this. So that means, see, this is how your interview can be actually streamlined to your favorite area. Right? Have you understood? Say for example, you say something which is unique. Say for example, I'm not telling that you should know about vintage car, right? So I'm telling that if they are asking what is your favorite subject, and if you are not comfortable with any of the academic subjects, so what you can do is whatever with your favorite subject. As I have given an example, if you are very much interested, your passion, right, or your hobby is knowing about vintage cars, so you say that. So that means unique one. And then if by chance, and there's a good chance that they'll be asking questions on that, and if they are asking questions on that, you are master in that. So this is how you can just analyze the interview discussion to your comfort area, right? So there are process of doing all those things. Okay, so you need to prepare it accordingly, right? All right, fine. Now let's talk about sample questions. So basically, if you look at top IIMs, if I'm talking about top IIMs, means I am talking about my students who have uh, face the interview of top IIMs, right? So in all the cases, what we can see and what we have seen is the most of the questions that you ask with respect to the information you have filled in the application form. So information means whatever you have written in your application form, what they'll do, they will read all those, and then from there they'll keep on asking, okay, you have told this thing, your strength is this. So can you elaborate a little bit? What do you mean by this? Okay, you have told your weakness is this. Can you elaborate this? You have told your hobby is this. Is it the only hobby, or do you have any other hobbies, etc., etc.? All right. Sorry. So, generally in your form, you have got hobbies, interests, project, research, seminars, strength, weakness, SOP, statement of purpose, core values. Then you may have a role model, right? So all those things are there. So all those things, your result, your marks, all those things are there. So most of the cases they'll be asking questions from there. So you need to be very much sure that whenever and whatever the questions they do ask, so you are somehow you have to answer, and then somehow you have to mold the discussion towards your favorable or towards your knowledgeable area somehow, right? So just for that you have to practice, and for that also, that though I cannot discuss as of now because it is a case to case basis. First I need to know about yourself, and accordingly the things will move. Okay, so it is a case to case basis only. All right, fine. So I've just given some sample questions, right? So what kind of questions they do ask for BCom people, right? So generally the conceptual questions. What is a single entry? So BCom people, single entry, all of them know. Fine. So NPV, net present value. What is the sunk cost? IRR, internal rate of interest. So all those things they do ask. Yes, of course. Whatever is written over there, the CV oriented things are very important, right? And CV, whatever there you have written, if it is correct, and if you are justifying that, then it's good enough. So discussion you have to mold accordingly, right? So whatever they do ask, just try to mold the discussion or end the answer in such a way that they can ask the next question which is in your favorable area or comfort zone, right? So that is how actually you need to learn how to answer. Any question is asked, you answer, and then the last line should be you close your answer in such a way so that the next question will be towards that area, and that area is your favorite area, right? Or you know better in that area. All right. So these are all very simple questions, but they do ask all those questions. I've just taken these questions. These are from uh, real time experience. So if you look at, say, for BAC, this kind of thing, carbon monoxide, what is the structure, maybe entropy, what is an entropy, right? So mathematics people, what is a random variable? So types of random variable and related to that, right? So physics people can be asked this kind of question: what are superconductors, and why the superconductors are important, right? Where are these being used, and so on. So those kind of discussions happen over there. All right. Okay, so tomorrow I have got a session with which is talking about how to build profile. So profile building profile related things, and then there is a question asked. So I'll include that question also. That what kind of trap situations are there. So I'll just take up some practical situation, and accordingly I'll discuss all those. All right. So these are all courses with respect to in the courses which I am actually taking in Unacademy. These are all different courses. So these are all different courses and classes I am taking in Unacademy. All right. So if you have liked the session, so please like, share, and you subscribe, and please click on bell icon so that uh, it can you can get more information. And please leave your comments in the chat box itself so that I can get some feedback from there on so that I can get some motivation from there. All right. And you can write your questions in the chat box. So tomorrow's session, I'll just pick up all those things and I'll discuss all those things. Okay. So thank you very much and good night.